All may seem quiet in the Mediterranean, but let that not fool you, for the creatures of the night plot and plan. Currently, Melissa Bavent is on a journey back from a hunt, and this journey will take her through the lands of her nemesis. Visiting Syracuse is a dangerous prospect, but in so doing, Missy proves that she has nothing to fear from the Sea of Shadows. 4 provinces are now within her domain, and some of these provinces have tasted the shadow arts of the La Sombra. An enemy to the east has been reaching out with that dark discipline, and today, Melissa and the Brood shall respond. Prepared for war, once she returns home, our caitiff kindred here shall lash out. Kia ora, Legionnaires. Rycon here, and welcome back to Crusader Kings 3, Princess of Darkness. And well, here we go. The Iberian Reclamation. It wasn't what I was thinking we were going to be dealing with first, but oh boy, what a fight we have on our hands. Out here, the Midnight Crescent, a rather large unified territory, are striking out against our expansion here. We have a queen coming for us, and with 1,700 levy to her name and 10 champions, well, we got our work cut out for us. We're going to have to get our armies over here as quickly as we can to Mallorca. But before we do that, we have some changes to make to our council. Yes, our council, that's the one there. Our spymaster David has been loyal to us so far, but our own brother has enough skill to be able to serve as a scourge. With 10 intrigue, he's just as good as David, and we know that he's going to be that much more loyal to us. And at 71 approval, hey, we're looking much better there, Pecs. And there is another thing as well. In our prison, we do have, well, a mortal who we are going to execute right away. Just a little beheading, which is going to help reduce Missy's stress, which we really need to do. That helps. Our other prisoner, though, is Kindred, and a Kindred that is the same generation as us. A Zemitzi, though, a sadistic flesh shaper. Well, there are some options that we can look at having him here as our prisoner. If we go to execute, we can potentially attempt to diablerize him. What that will do for us is we will effectively consume his soul. It'll raise our blood potency to 2, which gives us a benefit to all of our skills. However, diablerie is a massive sin in the vampiric world. We're going to get a bit of phlegmatic and animal resonance from his blood as well, and it would also cost us a fair amount of piety, which we have enough of it to spend right now. We'd also lose some stress at the same time, and we wouldn't be considered a tyrant. Effectively, no one would know, or at least we would hope so. As we can see here, diablerie is the most heinous crime a vampire can commit. A diablerie happens when all the blood of a vampire is consumed by another, which results in the soul of the victim being consumed as well. This process, while heavily frowned upon by most, results in greater strength for the perpetrator, as they can learn some of the victim's power or decrease their generation, bringing them closer to Cain. In-game, the diablerie scheme is available against other vampires, and if we can pull it off, we get blood potency and other benefits. But yes, it is a secret that we will carry with us going forwards. And because we actually have him as a prisoner right now, this is the best opportunity for us to attempt something like this, because more often than not, diablerie is a bit of a gamble. There is a chance that you can lose yourself to the other, and the original person that you're trying to consume ends up kind of taking you over. Is it worth it in this instance? Well, Missy is surrounded on all sides. She's a caitiff. She doesn't have a clan to back her up. And while diablerie is dangerous, there are a lot of kindred out there who are guilty of the crime. And so, we're going to take that gamble. Oh boy. And she looks pretty chuffed. If we have a look over here now, we can see that her blood potency is set to 2. And as we get a higher blood potency, we are going to require more and more potent blood. We are still 12th generation at the moment, so while our potency is better, our generation is still the same. If we were to try and raise further in those ranks, we would need much older blood. So let's create a different rally point for our army, and we are going to be raising all over there. And Guillaume, you will not be leading this force. Well, actually, you will have to, for now, until Missy is back. They chose the perfect time to attack, didn't they? As yes, it's gonna take her a while to work her way back home. Missy, do not linger. And you know, we can call on our ally in this instance. I don't know how much you've got in the way of champions. 5? That's okay. Oh, no, yeah, you're doing quite well for champions. So yes, let us call you to war, and because it's a defensive war, it's going to be completely free for us to do that. Oh dear. Well, we arrived. I was going to say we could also have a look to forming an alliance with Missy and another kindred of the night. So, we got some lifestyle experience for visiting the Tomb of Shadows, the Castillo del Ombro, the La Sombra's lair. 3 trait experience and wonder as well. There are occasional mysterious phenomena associated with this place. An old tale about how the shadows here remained intact even when lava flows from nearby Mount Etna cast their lurid red glow on everything else. Neither local residents nor visiting authorities realize how thoroughly their minds are twisted on a regular basis to hide all that is genuinely interesting about this castle at the center of the estate. To Vampiric's sight, it is a different matter altogether. The castle itself is a simple design, modified countless times over the centuries and not really depending on physical strength for its defenses. A long outer wall, precisely square, encloses 2 interior towers, also square. The eastern tower rises high with a spreading upper deck that allows watchers the best view of any trouble coming in from the volcano as well as other directions. It's impossible to tell from a distance what the walls are made of precisely, because animated shadows crawl over every surface. In a just barely visible ebb and flow, tides of shadow rise out of the depths after sunset each night and wrap around the castle in a generally spiraling pattern, reversing after midnight to gradually drain away. It is said that the gates are only opened when La Sombra himself is away from the castle, a worrying sight for the world at large. Spooky. Delay by 7 days, or I should not delay. We could get some learning experience? No. We do not delay. We move as fast as we possibly can, Missy. Okay. It has been several days since you made a prisoner disappear by eating their very soul, and your court has been abuzz with rumors regarding this missing prisoner. While you tried your very best to appease or deflect their concerns so far, the rumors aren't dying down, and more of them are casting furtive glances at you, perhaps trying to catch one of the telltale signs that prove their suspicions. We could admit to it, which is not great. It is, everyone of our faith would have a -50 opinion of us. Not good. Time to misdirect harder. Oh, that's even worse. Or, okay, an act of tyranny. The next one who speaks about these rumors will visit the dungeon. As to how much of an act of tyranny it is, well, unfortunately, we can't afford the stress, the gold loss, the prestige. Missy is wrathful now, and I think we'll be playing into that. An act of tyranny then. Oh, and good. Our ally shall be joining us in this war. Preparations as of yet are going well over here at Palma. Let's get you moving into the fortress proper. And Missy, you are oh so close to being back home. And there we go, arrival. We are back in one piece. It took 147 days. She traversed 7 different baronies. Quite the hunt. And because of us visiting the Sea of Shadows, we did manage to actually unlock a few different lifestyle perks. Yes, so, under Marshal, never back down sounds pretty good to me. We're pretty much going to be continuing down along the gallant line here. And now, Missy, you should be able to take command of this army here, which shall do them well. And now, at this stage, we wait. There is no point in us doing a attack here, especially within their own territory. Oh dear, but we have some brewing discontent. It's true that Akos, Breaker of Wolves, and I haven't been on the best of terms lately. Last night he confronted me, saying that if things don't improve, he's going to leave the brood of Bavent. It's not too late to settle our differences, or you want to leave, then leave. So we will need to get his opinion up or he will leave. Okay, so let's see what we can do to help improve that. Obviously, the tyranny is going to be dropping that down. Yeah, we're at minus 60 at the moment. It is going to take a while to improve that, and we might actually want to have a look at our council. Let's focus on domestic affairs rather than foreign affairs right now. You are fantastic at what you do, and I think you'll be able to do a good job at this. As for Akos, what can we do to try and help you here? Well, we could grant titles. That would certainly help. Or at the same time, we could just start trying to sway him. There is a good chance that it's going to be successful. We can sway and we can plot at the same time. So right now, that is going to be the most important one for us to keep on our side. Okay, oh boy, and they're going to be arriving in just a moment. It's going to be, well, balanced. It's hard to tell exactly how it's going to go for us. We are a superior quality force. Is there anything else that we can do in this instance here? Well, maybe. We have a look at Missy. Shapeshift? Don't think that she can. No, that's about returning back to your regular form if you had shifted for some reason or another, and we haven't. We do have a few different options here. Mass train knight or vassal. That's interesting. We can pass on different disciplines to a random knight. We probably don't want to be doing that right now. What I'm looking for is the ability to be able to mass create a large amount of ghouls at one time. And yes, for whatever reason, we don't seem to have access to that as an ability right now. And it might be due to the fact that our man-at-arms slots are currently filled up. So while that's unfortunate, there isn't much that we can do about that, apart from just get ready to fight. And you know what, to give us maybe a bit of a better chance here, if we go to Blood Surge and have a look at Martial, we will be able to get an extra point here. There's a 50% chance that we become hungrier. In this case, we don't. And let's hope that that helps Missy. This is going to be a hell of a fight. And the clash begins, and it's entirely one-sided. Decimated. Missy, this is not looking good. Defeated. Who was captured? Gilam, who we were trying to embrace ourselves. We're off to a very, very bad start here. We are going to need to rely on our allies to come to our aid. We need to get away. We need to regroup. I think right now, going for a counterattack might actually work better for us. We will be losing Palmer, however. We managed to get a few extra troops before we left there, which is good. Oh no. Really? Akos. Arrival. And he is no longer in the brood of Bavent. Well, that's very unfortunate. He is our marshal, and he is very, very unhappy with us. Arrival within our own court. We can only assume that it was him that was making those accusations to begin with. Akos, I am sorry that we lost your faith, but we have done what we need to do to survive. The siege of Garnata is underway. Missy, let's make it quick, as Palmer is going to be falling shortly. Where our ally is in all of this, we can't be certain. Oh, you're down here somewhere. Well then. Oh no, actually, you're over here. You are on your way, and we've lost the siege, and it looks like they are going to be coming for us. This is not looking good, folks. I think we're going to have to watch this very carefully, because we may be able to get back in time to try and re-secure Palmer. It really depends which way they go. Snake at court. I'm heading for my chambers to enjoy some blessed sleep when I hear a faint rustle from a window. Just the wind, I think, until the wind starts to speak. Pecs, open up, my treasure. It is I, Eleanor. I push the shutters open, and lo and behold, a woman has climbed up to Pecs' window. It is my Baroness, Eleanor. Well then, and she's very unhappy with us because she is considered a powerful vassal. Oh dear. Well, Pecs, I see. Pecs, you already have an alliance. Oh dear. And yeah, oh dear, it seems like they are coming straight for us. And this is interesting. Gilam is prisoner right now. So perhaps, let's think of it this way. He was taken back here to the Midnight Crescent, and now we have a chance to embrace him. Well, besieging the place here. I've orchestrated events so that Gilam has fallen within my clutches. In a secluded place, he will not be able to escape. Shall I grant immortality even if it means his damnation? Will he be grateful, or will he resent me forever? Did my sire have these thoughts? Okay, right. So, we're going to be spending piety to do this because we are going to be killing him. But we will be bringing him back. And there we go. He is now our child. And he is prisoner, which actually gives them the war score they need, because they have our heir. If we can hold off just a moment longer, we'll be able to get that back down. We are going to be teaching Gulam his place. Come on, just a little more, Missy. Okay, we captured the siege, but they're on us. We hold our ground. We fight. This will be the last fight of this war, one way or the other. And there it is. The bitter sting of defeat. We have our child back, but the war is lost. Well, so be it. That is quite the setback. Yet we did not lose any lives. It's not as bad as it possibly could have been. Perhaps we overstretched before we were able to build up our power here properly. But we have an heir now. We have Gulam, who has damn decent prowess right off the bat. And with 16 martial, well now, looking at our council and our new rival here, I don't think we need you anymore. Akos, you are still quite a good champion, so I feel like we probably still want to try and keep you around. Gersenda, you're not currently on the council. Yeah, so we're going to be swapping some things around here. And Eleanor, we are going to have to do something about you as well. So, first of all, Gulam, let us go and get you in as our marshal. You are going to be improving control over here. That's good to see. And it does look like we can imprison you for something. A known criminal. I'm not sure what crime you've committed exactly, but we can always look at pardoning you. And I think that might be worthwhile us doing in this instant. So, you'll pardon Gulam, and that'll make you like us a little bit more. Now then, we just lost power, and I was talking at the beginning about how we may want to focus on our enemy over here. We most certainly do. However, there are alliances that we need to take into account, and this would also be considered a holy war, so we could have reconquests like we just dealt with over here. Having a territory closer to home will be more beneficial for us. We do, however, also have a claim over here against Democritus, who is a 6th generation kindred, powerful but without many allies. Well, I say that, you do have an ally. You didn't earlier on when I was looking, but I think we could still potentially win this war. The numbers could very well be on our side, but we would also need to make sure that we secure some more alliances first. And now that we have a child of our own, we can secure more alliances. So, having a look here, we're going to sort by alliance power, and it looks like De Escaliver is going to give us the most beneficial of these alliances. So it would be with your sire, who has 780. It's not bad. I mean, 6 champions is still very, very good. And so let's have a look at you. I mean, nothing special, really. You're a Ventru. Let's see what our other options are here. It's the same house, so the same kind of alliance we'll be looking at no matter what. Your prowess is a little bit better, so I might consider you instead. Basera over here, 5 champions. I think we're going to go for this alliance. She's just and calm and trusting. I feel like she would do better in our court than her sister. So, let's send off that proposal for Gulam. I'm sure you two will be very, very happy together. And Pecs, not sure what's going on with Dario here. We don't know of any lovers or anything else like that yet. He is friends with Akos though, so hopefully we can start to sway Akos. I mean, we're still trying to sway him. And I think we still want to keep him in our court. In education, we have a slow child. Your progeny has trouble with the vast amounts of new information he has to learn. The clans, the history of the Cainite race, the myths. It seems to be too much. If you don't do something soon, your child will probably give up, which might be a hindrance for his initiation into the night. So, he loses 5 learning, or we gain isolated for a year, which drops down our general opinion even further. I don't think we can afford that right now. You losing some learning isn't the end of the world. You are our marshal after all. This one will serve another purpose. Yes, you shall. Oh yes, and there is another thing that we need to consider. Our masquerade exposure is 3, which isn't good, so it's definitely something that we want to try and see if we can rectify now. Cover up the masquerade. So, laying back is no fun. Killing them all, well, it could get us to an endangered state, which is not, but we've been taking risks today. What's not another risk? Oh, that's very bad. Okay. the second that we can do something about the exposure, we need to. Because right now, effectively, anyone can declare a war against us because we are becoming too flagrant with our use of power. Missy, these nights are getting very, very dangerous. But here we have a matter of faith. So far, your child has followed your faith mostly because you said so. Obviously, though, he is far from understanding the inner workings of the beast and how to deal with it. You'll have to take some time to start this part of the teaching, or hire some learned practitioners. So, 100 gold, or we take additional stress, but we gain some piety in the process. I'm willing to make that trade right now because I do believe we're going to be able to get that down. Akos is not swayed. Of course. You know, I feel like maybe we will just abandon that scheme for now. I don't think it's really going to go anywhere. Oh, we probably want to make him not a personal champion just because that's oh no, it'll cost us 300 prestige. Maybe we do keep on trying to sway you because that is very dangerous. We can spar with our champion, we'll accept it does cost us some prestige. Will that potentially cause you to like us more? We can give it a shot, can't we? I'm willing to spend that prestige. I feel like this could be worth it. For a few brief moments, Akos and I pace in lazy half circles, each watching for an opening. Missy bares her fangs, ready to defend herself. So, let's see, what direction do we want to go? We could get hungrier and call upon our blood here. Honestly, I feel like that's probably a good start for us here. Surging our blood. Akos is famed for his ability with a sword, and he reminds me of this with a perfect flowing chain of quick slashes punctuated by the occasional terrifying, powerful cleave. My form is decent with some lapses. Akos's stance is formidable. Fool, take this. We've got a feint and stab technique. We're feinting to the left, making it look like we're going to bite him, and then stabbing him with an offhand dagger. That will give us knife in hand for 5 years, which gives us +4 to our intrigue. I like that a lot. That, whatever he just did then, gave him a lot of prestige. So, fool, take this. My fangs make a thrusting jab one way, only for me to draw a fresh dagger with my offhand and lunge at Akos as he attempts to parry. My foe's wounds feed them, growing stronger by the second. My form is good, with only small errors, and Akos' stance is formidable. Okay, we have to keep this going. The blood shall flow, scum. We lose stress because we are impatient and wrathful, but there is a very high increase to our risk of injury. I say we take the chance for now. I have fangs, I have an enemy, and I'm determined to introduce the two by any means. Wild swings, backhanded smacks, flailing strikes from my weapon's base, anything to batter my foe. My foe lunges forwards, trying to sink their sharpened fangs into my inviting neck. My form is deteriorating fast with numerous exploitable gaps. Akos' stance is passable, so we are close right now. Have at thee, just die, or fool, take this. We can go again with the dagger. I think we need to go for it. Biting him, it's a low chance of success. High chance here, I think we go for it, and we win. Baring my fangs in almost a lazy feint, my opponent doesn't see my offhand dagger until it's too late. We got him. I am victorious. Okay, so we got some experience in aspiring blade master. It didn't really help us. We just kind of beat him up a little bit here. Oh, I put my weapon down and turned to Akos, giving him a customary round of applause. He does the same. Well fought, my countess. I am thoroughly defeated. Akos whimpers. Though, remember, do not let this victory go to your head. I am not your enemy. They are still out there. Well, okay. So, that gives us chivalric motivation, attraction opinion, and romance scheme powder, or power actually. A good bout. Okay, did not really help us all that much. Unfortunate. Well, it's fine. It is fine. Tempted by rebellion, eh? And it looks like there might be some other rebellions going on soon. Tempted by rebellion. There have been disturbing reports, as your spies have finally tracked the recent vanishing of your child to a group of rebels in the fringe of your realm. These so-called Fures are a plague to any self-respecting vampire, wanting to abolish the fine traditions of the blood in a vain attempt of freedom. Your child must be quickly shown the error of his ways, or he may even start to believe these idiocies. Go to your chambers, we become rivals. We've got so many rivals. If he was to convert, that would not be great, because we consider them to be evil, really. Furors are condemned by most princes as thieves and troublemakers. They exist on the fringes of vampire society. Oh boy. Can we really deal with yet another rival? We may be able to put that rivalry to bed. I don't think we can take the risk. We have too many other things stacked against us right now. The Masquerade being one of them. And we have yet another Gehenna omen, the Great Fire of Lubeck. And the presentation. Let's see how this goes. It's time for your child to be formally presented to your court. Behave yourself in there, or there's no need for them to know about you. No, behave yourself in there. Gulam, do us proud. An infatuated vassal. One of your vassals has been smitten by your child's flawless presentation and is now asking for some private time with your progeny. Obviously, it would be an easy way for you to get him into your debt, but your progeny may not appreciate being used as some form of gift. So this is Isabella here. So he would lose even more opinion of us, or sadly, I cannot accept your demand. I think we're going to go that route for now. We already have him as a rival. We don't want to push things any further for now. And here we have the end of the presentation. We've done what we can. So you are free to enjoy the night now, Gulam. Thankfully, he isn't that upset with us. Even though we are rivals, I think we can try and keep this relationship good. And let's just see how we do with Akos, but we may need to try and sway here. And ideally, we try and get you some land. I think that's what we're going to be doing down here. Yeah, Democrisis, you may be level-headed, but we are starting to get desperate for that power. And we have claims here. We have legitimate claims to this title. However, we cannot claim it right now. And so, an ability that we may want to try and pick up under Marshall is Bellum Justum. It reduces the cost of all casus bellis by 50%. That would make sure that we just have more prestige in general going forwards. And one way that we may be able to get some prestige here is by securing an alliance for Melissa. We are yet to do it. And we have some new options here. Pack member Verpus. I see. Well, you are a landed ruler, so you would be staying where you are, over in Greece by the looks of things. And you yourself, you don't have that many troops to your name. However, I am assuming that we may also potentially have an alliance with War Master Victor here? Oh, no, I see. A grandsire. So perhaps not. But even though 7 champions is still decent, and you do pop up quite near the top when we end up sorting by alliance power. Yes, there are others that are there, but your prowess is rather high, and you yourself are brave, and I think we can work with that. A gangrel who is 8th generation, and you are a sheriff of your liege. Well then, perhaps we can get this to work, and it does look like we will get a considerable amount of prestige here because we are marrying into the Gangrel clan. It is still a matrilineal marriage, but that amount of prestige, that's nice. We can take things further. Oh, an average cost of 560? That's considerably higher than what I've seen in the past, and I think it's because of your significance. We'd have 3 years to fulfill the promise. No, so let's not worry about a grand wedding. This seems to be enough to get this alliance to work, and we need every alliance we can get right now. And there we have it. A chunky amount of prestige. Wonderful. And we're going to use that clout to go straight to war. And we're going to be going to war here, first of all, because I think we're probably going to do better than going to war down here. Although in saying that, it's not that bad. Here, though, it will be for our legitimate claims. Well, I say legitimate claims. They screwed up some documentation somewhere. It's not our fault. We will declare it all the same, and no doubt some allies will be called to war, and we can call our own. We may not need to, though. We're going to be raising our troops down here, and we're going to see what they are able to field. 500 to begin with. I think we should be able to smash that with Missy's army alone. Let's see. None of their allies have been called in yet, but it's early days. This is a single province though, so we might be able to take it rather quickly. And it looks like this war, this first battle, is very much in our favor. Missy, that's a slaughter. And there we are, sieging down their capital. Let's see how it goes. Oh dear. And another omen. The Shadow Inquisition of the Catholic Church uncovered and destroyed a Ventru vampire. He was far too arrogant for one so young. Very dangerous considering the amount of exposure that we have going on right now. And this dangerous faction, I believe, is an Inquisition cell that is trying to seek us out. Very dangerous. And it looks like we're going to have at least one more fight before we win this siege. Although, yeah, we got it in the bag. And now, there we are. Just like that, no allies needed. Overwhelming force. We shall enforce our demands here, so it shall be. The territory is now ours. And we are going to hold on to this territory for the moment, but we can always look at passing it on. Do we want to spend time trying to upgrade this right now? Well, it is going to help whoever is here down the line, and that in turn will help us out too. Let's upgrade it to a large town, or rather the influence that we have in this area. Oh, and we can cover up the masquerade again, or, you know, we can try. So, we have a 66% chance that we go to 3, a 33% chance we go to 2. If we try to kill them all again, there is a very high chance that we end up just getting exposed. So I think we are going to have to use the gold in this instance just to get us that little bit further away from there, a little bit of buffer. Well, I'll be damned. We managed to sway Akos ever so slightly. We'll take that. Intimidation tactics. I take Anthony of Padua down to the dungeon where I start regaling him with tales of the terrible things I have done to people who have crossed me. I'm sure you've heard about how I was victorious in Duke Mbuke's war. I tell him with relish, that was just the beginning. As I chuckle, Anthony's eyes go wide with fear. Tell everyone about me. We get dread, we lose some stress, and our court chaplain loses a little bit of opinion about us. Not sure why we're doing that exactly, but it seems to make Missy happy. And I know we just had one war, but I think we need to try and strike while the iron is hot. And that means going to war over here against the Duchess. The Duchess who has been weaving shadows throughout our land for a long time, and we've been very, very lucky that none of them have stuck. But there's a high chance that they will. And so, declaring a war here, we can go for a county that will give us all this territory here. However, it's going to be a considerably large war. We're going to be using piety to go to war here. We don't know how big this could turn into, but we do have our allies that we can call to our aid should we need to. We are going to be raising our army down here yet again, and we'll be paying very close attention to whether she brings anyone else into this war. And actually just checking in on Anthony, he does have his 2 revenant children here who seem to be growing up pretty well. You've got Hale. You're going to be a good warrior, I think. Yeah. You know what? I do wonder, can we still bring you on as a guardian? No. Okay, well that's all right. And okay, we've already got all of our troops together. Let's start marching and see what they have to throw at us. Oh, okay. All right, they're trying to go for us over here, or maybe actually, no, they are going to be landing here. They were at war elsewhere, I think actually over here. So that's worked out very badly for them, because if they land here, while they have defensive buildings, they've only just landed. And we have so many other benefits on our side. Missy, this is an absolute slaughter. Oh, and let's see, who did we capture here? Just a mortal. Well, we could do something about that. Just a little bit of beheading. We would lose some stress, which that's great. And because they are, well, a mortal, it's not going to affect our piety at all. There we go. A little bit of levity. And let's begin our siege. Yet another omen of Gehenna. A great fire rages across the city of Utrecht in the county of Nedersticht for 9 nights, destroying most of the city. Is the Shadow Inquisition burning down the cities to purge the kindred? Quite possibly. A dangerous time to be one of the night. Well, they really haven't mounted much of a resistance here at all. I'm honestly a little surprised, as they do have allies up here that could come and help defend, yet they do not. And that is another territory that has fallen to Missy, and an enemy defeated. We shall enforce these demands. Farewell. A duchess no more. Let us disband these troops here, and look at that. That is a good stretch of land, Missy. Now we can actually construct a princedom down here for a little bit of extra prestige. We are going to be doing that. It's going to take a little while for that to get constructed. And we can see that we're actually above our domain limit now, so we are going to want to try and do something about that. Wow, we can upgrade there as well. I think Labda, we're probably going to look at giving that away to someone else. The question is who? If we were to give it to Pecs, it feels like it would make sense, yet there are so many things that Pecs does for us, I think that could actually end up being worse for us long term. Our sheriff, though, Gulam, who we are still trying to, win over. He's our rival, but he is our child, and I think we want to give him a little bit of freedom. And so granting him that title, I think, might just make sense. A county for you that would give him 40 opinion, however, he would become independent. Yeah, okay, so no, before we do any of that, we need to get a better title for Missy. Now our enemy down here was considered a duchess, so let's have a look at the different territories that we have here and see if we might be able to usurp one of them. So, we have 2 counties, all we need now is gold. Well, okay, we can start to work towards that. However, because we're over the domain limit at the moment, that will start to affect us. We only recently acquired it though, so we may be able to try and build up some gold over a little bit of time. Hey, thank you very much, Isabella. Amazing. Nicely done. And I think while we're at it, we're going to have a look at some of the other barons that we have and see if we can potentially look at getting some other folks in to replace them. We've got a salubri down here? Interesting. Well, I think we want to try and see if we can find any of our vassals that are considered to be powerful vassals, like our baroness over here. I see. So if we were able to replace you with someone else, someone close to us, I think we would do all the better for it. Dario here doesn't actually have any territory to herself. She is the spouse of Pecs. I do worry though, if we give her territory, Pecs will probably stay with her there, and then we would lose him as our court physician, which isn't the end of the world. I'm sure that there are others here that could serve very well as the court physician. I think that she does deserve a reward here, so if we could give her that territory, that would be fantastic. But trying to strip that territory from a 12th generation gangrel might not go so well. Let's see. It doesn't look like we would gain any tyranny from this action. She would just lose opinion of us, so it shall be revoked. And she agreed. Well, that's fine. And now, Dario, let us grant you a title. This character is too old to accept such a pittance. They won't accept barony level titles. Well then, who do we want to give this to? Oh, Anthony's kid? I'm not against it. He's a revenant. We've got ghouls who are in these positions before. Life expectancy of 245? Yeah, let's see about offering you the barony here, young one. We shall grant you the title. And you dislike us a little less. Look at that. Win-win. And we get rid of a powerful vassal at the same time. But now, of course, we have another powerful vassal down here. And again, looking at them, they're nothing special, so I think we want to reward the people who are already serving us. So the temple here shall also be revoked and granted to, well, in this instance, I think it's probably going to be to one of our champions. You're an aspiring blade master, y'all. Yeah, there we go. Congratulations. And you're not a powerful vassal, but I think that there are going to be powerful vassals no matter what, so I'm going to keep on looking. And sure enough, we can see them popping up all over the place. And where they aren't that important, we are just going to be revoking their title, which, yes, that will piss them off, but I think they just go to wander because they've got no other reason to be there. And this way, we can reward the people who have actually been serving us well. Now, Gersenda, if we were to offer you this, you'll be a zealot vassal, but I don't think that you'll be a powerful vassal. No, you're not. Oh, and Akos is no longer my personal champion because you went to follow your wife. Well then, we got around that problem, didn't we? Let's abandon that scheme. And Akos, I'm sure that you're going to be completely happy over here in Sabratha. And yet again, we're just going to keep on moving through here, roguing these vassals who we don't actually know or have any connection to whatsoever, and rewarding those that we do care about. Now, we do have the wife of our Gulam, and we have Denise, who is already a baroness, so we're probably not going to reward you with that. Gilam, we are going to be giving some territory to you, so maybe we focus on doing that first of all. But of course, we can't do that until we have enough gold to create this duchy down here. We just need 100 more gold. So you know what? It might mean that Gilam goes to follow you for the moment here, but we're okay with that. We will be able to get him back on the council before too long. For the moment, we're going to get Sard stepping in here. The walls of Tripoli. The delegation from Tripoli slowly files out of my private chambers. Our long meeting finally over. The petition is big for money to repair the crumbling walls of the holding, and have invoked my lordly duty to help them. I drum my fingers on the table, pondering whether to send them funds. Good fortifications are hideously expensive. Of course, if the walls are crumbling away, then I could always divert their existing stipend to more personal matters. Okay, so we have a duty to care for our subjects. Professionally rebuilt walls gives us an extra fort level for 20 years, but we lose some gold. I shall supervise the reconstruction personally. We would get some martial experience and we lose some stress because we're an architect. However, there is a chance that it's disastrously built, or we claim the money, which would give us 50 gold. It would get us closer to our goal. I think we try. There is a chance that this could go bad for us, but I think there's a higher chance that it will succeed. Masterfully improved. Well then, Missy, excellent job. And oh boy, you are a looker? We're no longer overwhelmed by stress, so that's fantastic news for us. A sinister consideration. As I make my way back from court, Baron Miguel approaches me with a grin. Melissa, I know you and I both grow giddy at the lamentatious screams of the innocent and damned. If they're going to die anyway, why not have some fun with them before they go? After all, who can tell us how the power of the blood would want us to live? We clearly have more in common than not, and I think you and I should spend more time together, away from the rotten brains of simple people. What do you say? Who are you, exactly? You're a baron? A 12th generation Banu Hakim? You are sadistic. I see. A wonderful idea. You would gain more opinion of us for piety, or we go back into stress. We can lose a little bit of piety right now, and yeah, I think, Missy could do with having a friend. Yet again, we can cover up the masquerade. Do we want to go down this route again? We could go into endangered, or go to 2 or 1, and there's a high chance that we get injured during this process. I think we try. Yes! Oh boy. Lucky us, eh? Lucky us. Looks like next year we are going to be able to host our Elysium. I think we're going to give it a go. There is a chance that it could end up costing us more money than we actually earn, but I think we got to try. We need to get gold somehow right now, because sooner or later, this is going to start causing us a penalty, and that gold will dry on up. Oh, and we have a new phlegmatic perk available. Let's have a look at that. We are going to have to put it into cloud memory this time. That is eventually going to lead us down to mesmerize here, allowing us to unlock the abduct scheme. How nice. But cloud memory, that can allow us to cause people to forget specific events, which, given one of Missy's new secrets, I think that's going to be rather useful. Oh dear, the map. My spies have informed me about a hunter causing a ruckus in the local tavern. The woman has been spending large amounts of gold and bragging loudly about the great deal she struck with a fancy lord in pearls and silk. She's been drawing a map. Well then, so let's see, this idiot belongs in my dungeon, or bring her to me. I think I can jog her memory. She will be killed by us, but we will expose the scheme, and we become more vigilant for 5 years. Gaining some dread as well. I think that fits just fine. Okay, so it was just a scheme to murder one of our mortals. That's fine. They're probably just on a little bit of a hunt. Is he one of our herd? Yes, he is. So, it might be good if that doesn't happen, because he's phlegmatic and is seemingly a good source of that. Yeah, intense resonance. So that's the thing. We can have different resonances. We have an acute sanguine resonance up here. Maybe we can let Joan go, because we do want to get more choleric resonance just in general. So Joan, we are going to release you from our herd, and we're going to try and see if we can find someone else to feed upon. Oh, Anthony, thank you. You've finished converting the faith over here. Well then, I think we'll probably get you to continue with that down here. We'll start off in Tripoli. And who does it want us to herdify? Matilda. We don't know what Matilda does exactly, but I do believe that some of these personality traits can come into effect. We might be looking at melancholic here, possibly. That would be my guess. We don't have any melancholic blood coming in right now, and we don't have any of those disciplines. She is strong, however, though, so she could be choleric, possibly. Let's take the chance, and yes, we'll be losing a scheme that I have ongoing to sway our child. But that's fine. We can find other ways down the line to make him happy with us. As soon as we have enough gold, we'll be able to give him Labda, which should make him that much more happier. Oh, Chana died. Well, okay then. We have even more of an opening now. Yeah, we've only got 2 within our herd, and both have really decent resonance. Oh yes, and we can cover up the masquerade once again. I was just having a look at Palermo, as it seems we have enough control there to actually have our influence back, which is really decent. As soon as that work is done there, we're going to want to try and focus down here in Tripoli, because we also have some decent influences down here, merchant and noble influence. And we could always look at upgrading this here as well. We will be getting some more prestige down the line. I think it's worth it for the additional tax. We'll say yes. Oh, and of course, covering up the masquerade. Let's see. I think we have to go with the kill them round. There is always a possibility that we are going to screw this up, but right now we need to hold on to that gold. Let's see. Yes! There we go. Back to exposure 1. That's a really good position for us to be in, just in general. The Inquisition will no longer be so hot on our tail. Oh, and it looks like we can host an Elysium again, but we're close enough now. I think we're just going to wait the months out. 250 is all we need. And our herd grows. Matilda, let's see, what do you got for us here? You are melancholic. I called it. And an intense resonance as well. I think we're going to keep you around with that kind of resonance going on. Now we can try and hunt before we try to herdify. Wants us to go for Joan. I think I'm going to have a look around the rest of our court and see what I can find. Oh, we do not. We don't have a lot of choices right now. So what we might have to do is go on a hunt. So under journeys and coteries, hunt in your capital. Yes, 5 mortals with random traits. Or we could go for warriors. It would cost us a bit of prestige, more than we actually have right now. We would get that back pretty quickly though. Time to slake my thirst. Yes, let's start planning. Oh, and we have enough gold. We have enough gold. Hold all the horses. We can create our first duchy. All right. We're going to get 300 prestige out of this. Let's get it created. There we are. A mighty duchess. Missy, liking the look here. And gosh, you are far taller than Verpus. Didn't notice that until right now. Okay, and oh, our color has changed. No, we can't have that, can we? Yes, back to a nice blood red. It does match this as well. There we go. Far more fitting. And I believe it is pronounced Sirt, but as ever, I am open to constructive criticism. Please do correct me. So now, we should finally be able to pass this on. Oh, stocking the stores. With a mighty burp, I push the rest of my plate away from me and sprawl back in my chair. Lately, my kitchens have begun to swell with golden grain and freshly hunted game, giving all my courtiers the healthy sheen of the overfed. I grimace. Though this bounty is great, it cannot last forever. I must decide what to do with all this excess food. Oh, well, they do look rather plump. Gains larders of thoroughly ordinary meat for 15 years, but also entirely unrelated disappearances. We gain a secret: cannibal consuming human flesh. Well, I mean, it's one step beyond for a vampire to start consuming, right? Bread for the peasantry, nearly empty stores, drops the garrison size down. That's not the worst it could be. Salt it or smoke it as long as we store it. That's not bad, but development growth and popular opinion overall, I feel like would be better. Even the servants shall eat as their duchess does, because if we care for them, then the blood shall flow. Well, yes. let it be said. Okay, all right, time for us to pass this on. We're going to be granting that to, here you are. Gilam, congratulations. The county of Labda is now all yours, and that does make you a vassal that really wants to be on the council, and that's why it's minus 100. That'll change. And okay, we had a few people go with you. So, you are most certainly best suited as our sheriff. So there you go. Congratulations, the position is yours. We did, however, lose our ghouls to him, as they are now under his de jure realm. He is a count, after all. And so because of that, we are going to have to try and find different. Hey, there is a faction that wants to make him prince or duke. Well then, we'll keep our eye on that. But yes, we need to fill these other positions. And yet again, this is not a bad position for Pecs to be in. So swapping you up here to focus on more religious matters might do well for you, Pecs. And as for our Scourge, or our Spy Master, we do have our Baron down here, who is also sadistic, but you're deceitful. Having a deceitful Scourge, I feel like, could come back to bite us in the arse. We'll see if we can't win you over a little bit. Intimidation, so perhaps we need to increase our dread, make the people more afraid. And finally, we need to get ourselves a steward worthwhile, as right now, oh boy, this is not good across the board. We may just have to get Gilam in here for the time being until we can get a better steward to fill that position. Here's what we do. Sard, you can join us here as the sheriff, but if we can get you to convert your faith, then we could have you as our court mentor. But is that going to be possible? No, not by a long shot, and it's because you're zealous, okay? Well then, this is the way it's going to have to be for the time being. But looking at this map now, we've really been able to start consolidating our power better. It is really unfortunate that we lost to the Midnight Crescent here, yet that's a mistake we've learned from. Now, it does appear that we can create a new man-at-arms regiment. I am intrigued to see whether or not now we can look at creating an army of ghouls, and it doesn't seem like that is so much a possibility for us right now. Oh, well then, you're the leader of an Inquisition cell. I see, a hunter, spawn of hell. Prepare to face the abyss that birthed you. Your unholy control over the poor souls of this realm ends now. Okay, well you're a young'un, 18 years old, but looks like you got a bit of power going through you. Yes, 17 prowess though. We can manage you just fine. Let's see, I'm not ready to fight those hunters, or never. Let's crush these glorified mortals in battle. Indeed, we shall. Every county, well, the control's going to drop by 25. That's fine. We are ready to crush our enemies, and we shall. And it looks like they've risen right up here. Okay then, let's raise that army. Oh, and at the same time, we are on the hunt. So I'm going to have a look at everyone here and decide who exactly we want to go for. I've looked through all of them for anything that might be like, a little bit more full of rage or whatnot, but we've got diligent, content, and patient, trusting, gregarious. I mean, yes, they are warriors, I suppose, but I don't think we're going to have anything here that we're really looking for. We're looking for passion within the blood, and we are not seeing it here. I think we're going to take a gamble here with Gerard. Let's hunt him. Drink his blood. Oh, we can continue hunting, but it'll cost us more prestige. Right. So what are we going to get from you? Phlegmatic. Okay. And you have an acute resonance. Well, we will keep you around, I think. We'll take a drink, like a considerable drink, but we're not going to wound him, as you are going to be useful. We will start to try and herdify you. And hey, look at that. That worked out for us over there. Now, let's get marching. We've got an army to kill. We have landed. Let's see. I think this is going to be a pretty one-sided affair, and sure enough it is. They are absolutely, well and truly crushed. Oh, and we're going to be imprisoning you, eh? I see. Well, let's enforce those demands. And now, looking at you, wrathful, sadistic, you sound like you might have the kind of blood that we want. Unfortunately, we cannot hunt you while you are imprisoned, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to form a blood bond or anything else like here. We could try and ghoulify you though. An undying thrall, you would lose all of the traits that you have here. Oh, it would be just so sweet, wouldn't it? Let's ghoulify this prisoner. Yes, and now we have a strong hook on him. Whether or not we're going to be able to get this to work, well, let's see. You're a ghoul now. You're a turned hunter. You have fortitude. You have potence. And we can actually start to try and herdify you. We could just keep you in prison for now. Oh, just for free. Growing the herd. Another sheep joins my herd. We get a perpetual hook on him, and oh, phlegmatic, and it's fleeting. Well, that's unfortunate. I do think that you are going to be able to serve us well as a ghoul, though. We'll just have to let you, chill out for a little while. Terrible, I know, absolutely. And it looks like we can cover up the masquerade a little bit more, but at this point, it starts to become almost a little bit too much risk. Although in saying that, yeah, actually, no, that's pretty good. Let's take that risk. We did get wounded in the process. Look at that, 0 exposure. Well then, look who's gotten a little bit weaker. I mean, I no doubt you still have a fair amount of champions to your side. You do, but your power, it's lacking. We could make a move here and start our domination of Sicily. No point staying idle in these nights, Missy? A holy war for the county. That sounds just fine to me. Let's declare that war. Let's raise the armies and set sail. And actually part of our army is over here. We're going to have to regroup on the mainland. Or we might not need to. Are you heading our way? Oh no, you're a hostile army, but I don't know if you're interested in us. Another sheep joins the herd. Gerard, are you kidding me? Phlegmatic. You gotta be kidding me. So much phlegmatic blood. So yeah, okay, we have melancholic, which we don't need right now. I think we let you go from the herd. Acute, fleeting, we keep acute. I think we'll still keep you as a ghoul, but yeah, we can release you from our herd. We don't take any negatives from this. Any piety. We gain a lot of resonance, and we get rid of that hunter. My dominate discipline of cloud memory decreases the risk of my masquerade exposure. There's only a 4% chance. That's fantastic that is coming into effect. Let's do it. Let's make that happen. Oh yeah, it's already happened. 0 hunger. Missy is feeling just fine. Well, there's no point in waiting. We're going to be sailing out right away, and we'll meet our enemy on the battlefield. That is, if he is here. You are fighting another war right now, an aggressive war, the Dark Lord of the Zemitzi. Well then, good luck to you. Right, okay. 211 warriors. It looks like we're going to be able to win this without too much trouble though. Let's see how it goes, and oh yeah, barely any losses. Missy, what a fight. We didn't manage to capture anyone there, but we got 50% of the war score needed to win. I think we got this in the bag. Although yes, I know that I've said that so many times before, and we have not had it in the bag. This time, I think we actually do. A strategic impasse. Well, it seems like there's a bit of a disagreement as to what strategy we're going to be using going forwards in this war. We can employ both strategies. Because of our high martial skill, we have this available to us. So we get some good bonuses here. We can't unfortunately do any pillaging because we can't raid, but we'll get the other improvements from this. So let's employ them both. And there we have it. We've got it under control. And a little bit more masquerade exposure, and it seems like the Inquisition is looking our way once again, but surely they've got others to investigate, no? Let's enforce our demands here. We're going to be getting a fair bit more fame here, and we're also going to be getting more devotion, which is very important. So, it looks like we have an ongoing war here, which we're defending against the Messenian claim on the county. Ah, I see. It's a vassal of our friend Montano down here. Well, we got the troops up already. Let's finish this. It looks like they're just kind of hanging out here at the moment in their boats. Oh, and you're going for us down there. Malta is under siege. Let's have a look and see how long that's going to take. 11 months left, and over here, 7 months. We are going to get it first. We're got this. Oh, Sajar, a child slave noted for her intelligence and beauty. Sajar has risen to become the ruler of the powerful Sultanate of Egypt. The death of her husband, the chaos wrought by the Seventh Crusade, and her own considerable political acumen and ambition have certainly contributed to it. But this is still an impressive feat, considering the prejudice against her gender, most notably by the Abbasid Caliphate, who refused to recognize her rule. Such powerful rulers are often out of reach for Canaanite politics, as they're way too visible. But your agents report of an interesting development. Sajar's implication in the murder of her latest husband has been publicly revealed, and her political capital isn't enough to cover it up. Her husband's supporters have arrested her, and she is now imprisoned in the Red Tower, where she will most likely have an accident in the coming days, as is often the custom in this kind of palace plot. This might be the perfect time for us to fake her death and introduce the ambitious Sultana to a whole new layer of power and intrigue. Let's have a look at you. Wow, that is a fantastic amount of intrigue. Very interesting. Sajar, the Three of Pearls. Gold is of no concern. We can pull some strings or just let her go to someone else. I think we could do very well with her, perhaps even as a child. So let's pull some strings and hope that no one else wants to intervene. Montano? No? Seemingly, we are in the clear. Fantastic. You're also a brilliant steward as well. We could probably use you for that more than anything. Are we going to try and embrace you? I think we're going to give it a shot. At 34 years old, chronologically, she is younger than Missy. Missy is now 45, as in she's existed for 45 years. But obviously, vampires do not age. I mean, her husband is 112. Young for a vampire, really. And I'm not even sure if these two have actually met in person at all yet, but I'm sure that time will come. And our wounds are gone, and we've won the siege. We've even gotten some gold from occupying. Wonderful. Let's enforce our demands. Let's end this senseless war. And we even seized an artifact, a worn language manual. Well then, it looks like we can actually use that as a trinket, which gives us more ability to learn other languages. We may wish to do that eventually. Let us disband our troops here and take in this new territory. We can host an Elysium. We're going to hold off doing that, I think, until our council is looking a little bit more sound. Now we can see Gilam is a glory hound. He likes wars, he likes conquest, and he likes us better now because of it. Now here's an interesting map feature that I didn't think about until right now. We can see where the masquerade is at risk. The very important thing about that is that at any time, someone can swoop in and declare a war because of a potential masquerade breach. So theoretically, the Duke here, we should very well be able to go to war. Oh, we have claims? Of course, back over here. We'll do that fight eventually. But for now, well. So it seems they need to be an independent ruler for that to really work out. All the same, it is worth us keeping an eye out on the map for locations that are looking a little red. Now I think we're probably going to want to try and hold on to this province with Missy. Eventually we are going to want to leave North Africa altogether. So then, we'll be passing on some territory down here next. But to whom? Is it finally time for us to start to recognize Pecs? Or do we want to fall back upon old habits? Baranakos, you are our rival, but perhaps it doesn't need to be that way. Perhaps you truly could be an ally. Let's see. You will be a glory hound, so we'll have to try and keep you happy. We will grant you this title, Breaker of Wolves. And of course, he's instantly super unhappy because he wants to be on the council, which we can deal with. You shall be reinserted as our marshal. And now, finally, you're a little bit happy again. And as for our spy master, or Scourge, we are going to be going with Shahajar. 20, brilliant. And you're not even kindred yet. Finally, having a look at our vassals here, we do have some powerful vassals that are upset that they are not on the council. Do we care? Not right now, no. Their skills are not good enough. Although in saying that, you are the revenant child of Anthony, or Anthony II, Electric Boogaloo, and I think that given enough time, your traits may improve. So, we'll keep an eye on you still. And with that, our realm is stable. Now, we need to talk about the biggest enemy on our doorstep, our nemesis, Montano the Shadow. There is no way that we can defeat him in hand-to-hand combat. There is no way that we can out-intrigue him. Yet, perhaps there may yet be a way. If we are to have a look at his vassals, here, Bishop Alfonso of Venice, the Latin tyrant, is the scourge of Lord Montano, the spymaster, you might say. So, having a look at the spymaster here, he's disloyal. Can we get him on our side? Well, first of all, we have to nominate a successor. We'll get round to that. But this bishop here, who has fantastic intrigue, let's see if we might be able to work a little magic. Seduction, perhaps, may be a way for us to win him over. We cannot offer a gift or an artifact, although in saying that, perhaps we could. We did just pilfer a worn language manual. Let's have a look at that. Indeed, we can gift this artifact. 17 opinion. It's not massive, but that wasn't helping us out all that much either. So we'll offer it. And look at that, a little bit of a bonus. So then, looking back at this once again, seduction, a 60% chance of success. Now, Alfonso is already in an alliance, a relationship of a kind, but I think we can work with that. We have to play the game, and so our scheme begins. And because of that, we'll actually get our spymaster here to start to support our schemes, and we'll see how this all unfolds. As for our successor here, of course, it's going to have to be Gulam. Congratulations, you shall be the heir. However much I imagine Missy would wish it to be Pecs, her brother. Well then, yet another person of interest, an incredibly learned individual, Abdul Hassan, a renowned theologian of great prestige, known to have traveled far and wide and has met most of the famous scholars of his age. He is a fantastic debater and is skilled in legal administration. He is a decent target. At 19 learning, Pecs is pretty close, and we trust our brother. I think, for now, we can pass him by, and oh, good job that we did. He was swept up, taken elsewhere by a toreador, no less. The embrace, and we just have enough piety for us to be able to do this. Let's see what skills you end up with here. Let us make it so. Embrace another child. Okay, and holding off there, first of all, we got a new perk for Phlegmatic. Nice. And Marshall. Wonderful. How very interesting. Obfuscate. Where did you get Obfuscate from? You didn't get it from us. No siree. How intriguing. Well, at 12 prestige, it does make you a champion of ours. And now that I'm looking at your stats, while your intrigue is incredible, your stewardship is also very nice. We have to keep in mind that you are deceitful. However, we would hope you would be somewhat more loyal to us in the future. The ambition as well, oof. Perhaps you would be better suited as our steward. But let's think things through. Right now, we don't have any other good scourge options really. So I think keeping you where you are for now, that'll do just fine. And of course, the other thing of interest here is that we, first of all, see you as a criminal. Your faith is not our own. Not yet. But that no doubt will change here. You know what, let's keep you close, but with some liberties and see how that turns out. And as all of that is happening, let's see what we have here next. Household Guard, an extra 2 knights. I did say that I wanted to get Bellum Justum, but I can't say no to another 2 knights, especially if they are kindred. And of course, Phlegmatic, we can now pick up Mesmerize, the abduct scheme. Another tool in Missy's arsenal. I think we should actually have a look at inviting champions now. It is a hit to our prestige, but 3 able-bodied people with 12 or more prowess, that sounds good because we need more knights. As some of our champions down here, they really should not be, they should not be fighting. Mentoring. Pecs has stepped in here. Very interesting. We could give her more intrigue and more learning, but we'd lose 50 gold. Ask Pecs to do it free. We can participate as well, but you know what? I think we can pass by the extra intrigue and learning. Although, you know what? Pecs, here, 50 gold, let's make that happen. Because the extra intrigue will actually help us out going forwards. 21 is just brilliant. And a champion has arrived. Eleanor, 10. Okay, that's a start. Oh, look at that. We can abduct now. If we were to recruit you, you would be 45 gold. Okay, we'll see what the other options are going to be. Of course, the matters of faith. Oh boy. Piety for stress? Well, we can actually gain an opportunity to lose some of that stress. We don't always get opportunities to get more piety, so let's go critical for now. And athletic. A good trait for us to pick up. Yes, let us be an athlete. And that does allow us to work off some stress. It does make us slightly sweaty, which lowers general opinion, but I think it can be worth it. Right now, we don't really need to go for it though, because we can have a look at hosting in Elysium, which in general is going to drop stress across the board. Let's get going. Oh, refreshments. With so many vampires in one place, we'll need a good source of blood, preferably fresh and still living. Raid the region. Well, we gain some prestige, but masquerade exposure will increase. We can do it ourselves, which will give us more stress, or pay the experts to do it. Well, a little bit of extra exposure, we can deal with it, can't we? Or we can try to. And of course, our man in the shadows. A gift is certain to catch Bishop Alfonso's attention, but surely anyone would appreciate a fine and clearly expensive one. So then, what is it going to be? A tapestry, a purebred horse, a tailored dress? What do we think you would be interested in? You're ambitious, you are callous, and cynical. How much do you care about your own dynasty? Let's go for a tapestry and see. Oh, a protege. One of your vassals is very proud of a fine discovery she recently made. A mortal, apparently promising enough to be paraded around Elysium, which is a rare occasion, not officially permitted. As the ruler here, you could use the faux pas to grab the mortal for yourself, if you so wish. Let's have a look at this mortal. I mean, I'm not seeing anything special here. You've got a bit of, martial prowess. You might have good blood. I have great plans for you, or nice pet. Yeah, there you go, Gesenda, you can get a better opinion of us. And a breach of the masquerade. Roselia saw you violate the silence of the blood. You know too much, huh? Yeah, bribe them, kill them. Well, there goes that piety. You have a fleeting resonance. Ignoring them, that's not good. Paying them off gives her deceitful. And here's the thing, she has the kind of traits that I think could make for good hurting. Maybe we just try and bribe you for now. I think we give it a shot, just for a point of difference. Oh, and he appreciated the gift. Well then. Oh, and she's a champion, so it does actually look like she might be sticking around here. Okay, well we can't hurtify right now, because we will need more, but we can hunt to at least test out her blood. But first of all, theories. Tonight Your Elysium is interested by one of the latest fads coming from the mortals. As always, many vampires claim that they are the precursor of such mortal ideas and innovations, but without any proof. There is an endless debate, but one quite good as an opportunity to present your own theories without any real risk of danger about that. Okay, so we could try and woo them with mind games, or say no. Risk a little bit of prestige, gain some, we get some learning experience, maybe either way. Let's stick out of it for now. Let's just focus on trying to reduce our stress where possible. Oh, and we're going to get some piety here. A faithful child. Look at that, we didn't even need to kind of force it on you. Great, wonderful. And of course, we'll go on a hunt as soon as we can. We gained a level of devotion, ever good. My rival and vassal, Count Akos, known for his interest in venery, brings rumor of beasts spotted in my realm. Well then, interesting. Game sighting. I think we're going to have to go on a hunt in the next. For now, let's begin the council meeting, and we'll also begin that hunt there. Yes, the Chamberlain has an average plan. You have 20 diplomacy. Your Chamberlain proposes a grand tour of your prominent vassals to sing your praises and your grandeur, hopefully raising their respect for your rule. You only have to pay for some of the expenses and it will be put in motion. Some 50 gold. Diligent Chamberlain for 5 years. Direct vassal opinion goes up by 10 across the board. I do think it's worth it. As much as it sucks to take that hit right now, we will. Into debt we go. And a lackluster plan from Gilam. Okay. Expand our influence. 500 gold. No, you're insane. I'm sorry. There goes that extra opinion we just got. However, we have a good plan. Our sheriff comes forward with a plan to increase our overall control of one of our provinces. Well, I like the sound of it. There is a small risk of discovery. Control populace for 5 years in Regio Calabria. Good work, Akos. Scholarly training. Pecs is asking for our help tonight in a training matter. Several important books have come to your advisor's attention, and acquiring them could prove important. It would, of course, be costly, however. 300? Buddy, you're skilled enough, Pecs. What can I say? I expected better. And a good plan from our Scourge, as ever. Good work, child. Your Scourge is always worried about a potential masquerade breach, even where there isn't one to be seen. Brilliant. 50 prestige to get to 1 exposure? Yes. Love your work. And I believe that is the Elysium. Done and dusted. However, I suppose this is all happening at the same time, isn't it? We need to present our new child. Do behave yourself in there. Well, Dario, thank you. Getting Akos back on our side? Fantastic work. And of course, we have a scheming vassal here at the presentation. A small mistake and nothing more. Baron Philippe, I don't think we've even seen you much at all. 12th generation Bruja, huh? Well then, what are our options? You won this round or I owe you nothing. We don't owe you anything. Philippe, be gone. Get out of here. Oh yes, and our child. It does seem like we can imprison her, but we're not going to. We're going to do the opposite in actual fact. We are going to grant a pardon here. And of course, there we go. Look at that. Nothing went bad with the education there. And this is going to give you some more opinion of us. Good for you. And another champion. 13 prowess. That is looking somewhat better. I was hoping for more kindred to appear. Unfortunately though, we're not going to be able to recruit any of these champions. Not for a while. Not while our gold is so close to the negative. But legionnaires, it is certainly not all negatives here, is it? No. Missy lost territory. Yet she expanded her realm further. Not in the direction that she wants to go just yet, but she has consolidated power, becoming a duchess in her own right. A prince of the night, but one who controls more than just a handful of provinces. Montano no doubt sees Missy as a mosquito, nothing more. Yet the Master of Shadows may yet find himself victim to the fangs of Missy. But we will see, eh? Ancient vampires don't go down so easy, and Montano has survived 4,000 years. Today, Missy got a taste of just how good kindred vitae can be and the power that's contained within it. If she could consume the Lord of Shadows, my, what a beast she would be. And by her side stand kindred, powerful in their own right, 2 of whom on the council are her own childer. Hold tight, legionnaires, as this tale is set to get all the more darker. And once again, I ask you all, if you enjoyed today's monstrously long episode, please consider leaving a comment or a like to let me know if you enjoyed the show. As for now, I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned.